Hi, Lisa Wilson, Human Resources Cultural Consultant and Leadership Vision Coach. Haven't been in for a couple of weeks, but this month's theme is about what's in your diet. And when I say diet, I'm not just talking about the food that you eat, though that is important too. That's definitely not my area of expertise. This is where are you spending your time? Who are you spending your time with? And how are you just basically living your life and spending your time in each area that you want to spend? So family time, work time, hobbies time, that type of thing. Because that makes a big difference in how you are in your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So this week, I wanted to talk a little bit more about people. I shared a blog this week and got a comment on the blog. So one of the things about people, it's a couple of things. Number one is there are those people in your world who can like brighten a room when they walk in. They come in and it's just exciting when they get there. And you know that if they're on your team is always going to be in high spirits. When they're not there, you can feel that lacking. The opposite is true as well, as sometimes there's that one person who just completely drags the whole team down, that they show up and everyone's like, ugh, do we have to go through this? So when I'm talking about who you're hanging out with and who's allowed on your team, this is important. Having people who are positive and moving forward, or at least discussing things in a positive way, that there isn't that person, hey, Shirley, good to see you. There isn't that person who's always pulling you down. Now, if you're talking about in your personal life, consider who you're hanging out with. If there's someone like that and maybe they're in your family, maybe you just spend less time with them or find a way to spend time with them that isn't so draining on you. The other concept here is, what are you allowing from people? So some of us are so used to taking care of ourselves that we don't allow others to help. So you have all these great people in your life and you're giving and giving and giving to them, and they want nothing more than to give back. Are you allowing them to do that? And when I talked about this, when I put the blog post up this week, someone commented and said, Lisa, the last, what you missed here is in the last 2 years, we haven't even been allowed to be around people. And I think that's really true and really hard. Now, for me, it wasn't as bad. I have been working online for years now, and I've been able to find these groups that I can be involved in to still have that support. And I found more than one. They're what generally referred to as a mastermind. And so I always have these teams that are there to help me. I was in one a few years ago and still have some wonderful friends from that. So that was in 2019. So when we were still allowed to see people. And now I'm in another. And while I may not get to meet these people face to face, they're there and there are really positive personalities in my life. So it's not just my family that I'm able to see. I can see these people online. We have one-on-one meetings. We have group meetings. And it's just allowing that positive space in my life. Now, with this group, we've also, the one I'm currently in, we've recently 2 of our group members have lost a spouse. And while we are nowhere near each other, and so obviously can't get together or show up, we've all put money in and sent them something just to let them know that we're thinking of them. So it doesn't matter where you are anymore, that making sure that you have that group that can help you out. So think about who you're allowing in your life, who you're spending all the time with. And then I want you to think about as well, how are you allowing them to be in their life? I shared a story years ago online where I realized people don't know how to be there for me because I very rarely need them. And so when I don't ask for the little things, when something big happens, they don't know how to show up for me. And that's not because they don't want to, it's because I've never let them. So it's two-sided. How are you allowing people into your life, but who are you allowing into your life as well? Do you have people who wouldn't be there for you? Or do you have people who would show up in a heartbeat, but you're not letting them? So you need to think about both. But your diet is very important. And again, when I talk about diet, I'm not just talking about food, though that is important too, but you want to talk to someone who's got a little bit more expertise in that than me. I always give away free 20-minute calls. I'll try and remember to put that in the comments this time. And we will talk to you again next Friday. Have an amazing weekend.